I want to create a blended, cohesive family. So I want to create a blended family that is strong, that makes me feel good. And honestly, I have no idea how to do that. Now, this conversation is near and dear to my heart. I have been in this situation. I never thought I'd be in this situation. And I definitely, with 110% certainty, never thought I'd be on a podcast talking about it. So let me put that out there first. I have personally been in this situation, so I know exactly how to get out of it. I know exactly how to create like a cohesive, strong, blended family. Now, I had no one, zero zip, nada families around me that modeled this. So all of the families around me, all of the people that I knew, all of my family were in traditional nuclear families. I had no idea what on earth a blended family looked like. I had no idea how you make that work. And honestly, it was stressful. It was difficult. It was hard in the beginning. And to be honest, I think I hid it. I hid the hard really well. And often it would eat me up inside, if I'm honest. I'm going to give you my top 10 tips for how to create the best cohesive family. And it can be done. Absolutely. I don't have any of those feelings anymore. I haven't for years and years and years now. And we have a beautiful blended family. And we both have pretty decent communication with our exes, to be honest. So I just want to give you that hope. I want you to know that you can have amicable relationships with your ex in terms of talking to them about the child that you share. So the child sees that too, that there's that positive communication there. But you also have strong boundaries to protect your current relationship, which is really important. So, my very first tip is to make sure that you talk to your current partner first over anybody else, even if it's about that child. So instead of going to the other person because they're the biological parent, no, you make decisions within your current family structure first. You talk to your current partner about everything first. You decide together as a team, then you go to the other person. Now, I know that might seem, oh, but they're not the parent, blah, 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 blah. So I'm talking about if you're in a committed, like you've remarried or you're in a really long-term committed relationship that you do this, yeah? Not if you're dating, right? But this is if you're creating this new solid family, yeah? So go to each other first. It creates emotional connection. It creates trust between you both. It makes the other person feel seen, heard, validated, and appreciated. And it creates the family you want ultimately. And sometimes it's a relearning process because you've normally been talking to the other person about it, right? So you have to retrain yourselves. But it's so important when you do this. So important. It is the foundation and the single biggest tip I can give you. There is other big ones, but this is essential. You cannot get around it. And I hope that's really clear. So obviously you want to have clear and open communication. You want to have honesty about this. And my real big recommendation is when you're talking to your ex, it's just about that child, obviously, right? You're not talking about 1,001 other things. Yes, you're polite. Yes, you're respectful. Yes, you're kind. All of those things. Absolutely. But you're not talking about all sorts of. It's really important to make sure every single person, including the children, have their feelings discussed. It can be tricky, the transition. And even when you're not in the transition part, it takes a while. It can be tricky for the first year. And so, like, you can hold regular family meetings to discuss feelings, concerns, schedules to make sure you cross it. Communication and open communication is absolutely the key. Now, you want to really early on establish clear roles and boundaries. Talk to your partner about what you believe their role is in terms of the step parent role. We call it bonus, being a bonus parent. That actually came from Melissa Ambrosini. It's just such a nicer term than step parent, right? So we call each other bonus parents. So you want to talk to each other. What's your role going to be? What's it going to look like? Everyone's circumstances are so different. Sometimes people only have them like in the holiday, like their child in the holidays or whatever. It has to be specific for you guys. And then you want to set boundaries that actually everyone can respect and gives everyone's like needs and worries validated essentially. Now, this is another really phenomenal, great new tip that you want to create new family traditions because what happens is it fosters a sense of belonging between the family members and it helps them like it deepens the connection as you as a family unit. So like really simple stuff, taco Tuesday or like Friday night movie night or like board game night or whatever. Create new family traditions and start celebrating milestones and achievements together, because like when we look at what a family is and what things you remember from your childhood, it's this kind of stuff, right? Start doing stuff like that to create the strong cohesive family unit. Another tip, which is actually not a part of my original 10, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway, is put photos up of the kids, of yourselves together. It's actually linked with a really strong sense of belonging when there's photos of yourself or of the kids, mainly for the kids, in the house. It helps them have a sense of safety and belonging. Now, I know it seems like a really small thing. You can pick the photos out together because that's another great way of helping them feel like they belong and they're ready. Now, it's going to depend on the age of the child. It's going to depend on how open and receptive they are too. So you don't want to push it. If they are open and receptive, though, definitely go for it. That's a really great one. Now, again, you got to be number 4 is being patient and understanding. Like it takes time to get new routines in, to like show empathy and understanding to everyone in the family. It takes time to get this stuff sorted. It doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you've got to process a lot of your own stuff, a lot of your own feelings of self-worth, insecurities, all of that kind of stuff. But I can promise you, if you go through that and don't avoid it, it's worth it to get the beautiful blended family you're looking for. Okay. And number 5 is to encourage positive relationships. So, like, you want to, like, in our family, we don't talk about them being stepbrother and sister or any of that. Like, they know that, but they are just brother and sister. That is your brother. That is your sister. You just talk to them with respect and care and kindness and you look after them, right? That's how we talk in our family. And what we say sets the tone. So, as you, as parents, you are the foundation of your home and you set the tone for what they think and feel. So, like, you wanna do things that bonds you together as a family outings, like I said, game nights, things like that to bond and strengthen the relationships. And you wanna definitely, this is very key, number 6 is to maintain consistent discipline. Now, it's not easy, but you wanna agree as you I'm talking about the parents here, agree on what's rules, what's the natural consequences, what does it look like in your home? When you agree and you maintain that united front, you have less issues. Do that straight away. Put pen to paper. Don't just talk about it. People talk about it and then they get confused and then they forget what they agreed on. Like literally write it down, stick it on the fridge. That's how clear and succinct I want you to be about this. It makes all of the difference. Okay. Number 7, prioritize yourself as a couple. So sometimes when we get into this situation, we use a big focus on kids to make sure they're okay. I totally get that. Should definitely do that. But you also want to nurture each other because you are probably going through a gamut of emotions, all of that kind of stuff. Regular quality time together, date nights, like actually role model what a healthy, happy relationship looks like. Your kids will appreciate that without probably telling you, but because it creates safety for them. It creates emotional safety when they see you happy, when they see you both thriving and happy and safe. Kids thrive off routine and emotional safety. There's so many studies that prove that. I could go on forever. I'm very passionate when it comes to kids. It's really important. And number 8 is seek professional support when you need it. Like, why suffer in silence? It baffles me every time when people wait for so long. And I get it. I get it. We think it'll get better. We think it'll change. All of these things. Just get the support. You can address the deeper issues that are going on with you, whether it's individuals, couple. I do individual and couples counseling just to put it out there if you need any support. So it's not just couples. I've actually got plenty of individual clients at the moment. So honestly, get the support so you can get these skills, strategies, and different things to move forward. There's so many things, and we can tailor this to your family. Obviously, this is general right now. The next one is number 9. I want you to celebrate individuality. So, like, you might have children with different skills, talents, all of that kind of stuff. I want you to celebrate their differences, celebrate their talents, celebrate their strengths, because sometimes we can get a little jealous, sometimes when they're step brother and sister and things like that. So you want to do that and allow children to maintain connections with their biological parents. So only ever speak good things about them. Don't ever put them down. Make sure they can have the open lines of communications. They want to call, yes, great. Establish those, set them up. They need that to thrive themselves. If it's not available and that's not happening because of the parent's decision, that's different again. But if it's available, let that happen. Help them to make connections. Help them to know that other part of themselves, because there's a natural inclination as a human to want to know the other parent. Let them know the other side of the family, as long as it's safe, obviously. Let them know who they are, what they're about, all of the things. Okay. And only speak positively of the other person. No matter what you think, doesn't matter. They have brains themselves, they'll eventually see whatever it is they need to see, but at the moment, and for as long as you humanly can, just speak positively, like, for the all of the time, really, just speak positively of the other person. And the last one is to stay flexible and adaptable. Look, kids grow, change, circumstances grow, change, people move, all sorts of things happen. You need to be willing to adjust, compromise, and evolve as a family. And you can't be stuck in the rigid routines of what it was or what it was like, right? And or what your past situation was like. You got to let that go and start fresh. So it's a new chapter. Really embracing change and being open is so important. And I really think doing the emotional work on yourself so you don't bring through past issues from past relationships is so important. Like, really important. So make sure you're doing that so you don't stay stuck and so you don't repeat any patterns, too many patterns, or so you're aware of them at the very bare minimum. So you can have a thriving relationship and you can create this strong family unit. I really would encourage you to do that. That's it. They're all my tips. And what I would love for you to do is please share this with someone that you know would benefit from this. Leave a comment, hit subscribe if you're listening on the podcast, or hit subscribe on YouTube. I would love to hear from you. I've got so many great episodes coming out really soon. So now it's time for you to go and turn your relationship on.